Welcome back to another video. These are our top 5, or the ultimate guide to getting rich in Car Dealership Tycoon. Now, I just want to state that I know I'm not the richest player in the game, and I'm not the best player in the game, but these are the best tips I could give because, come on, I qualify for being the richest. I know it's a pocket change, but come on now. Anyway, the first tip I could give is racing. Now, racing is definitely a common misconception for those who are starting, because a common thing in racing games is that you earn the best amount of money from racing, and that's partially true in most games, but this one is different. And yes, I did the epicest drift ever, if epicest is even a word, and I got stuck. Anyway, the point I want to get to is that racing is definitely a common misconception because people think that's the best it's the best way to earn money, because in Driving Empire that's one way, in Vehicle Tycoon that's another way, in Vehicle Simulator racing is definitely the best way to earn money. But the point I want to get to is that racing is not the best way. It's definitely the highway race, because racing has a delay, and if you say, oh, drag racing is the best because you don't have to pick laps, or you don't have to pick what race you want to do, and it's definitely a common misconception because I see a lot of people spam drag. And it gets kind of annoying, but at the same time, it's a common misconception by starters because they think it's the best way to earn money. And the way that I earned money was I took the highway method, because I was there before the city races. I did the highway method, and it was really like one of the better methods that I've done, because if I would have spent my time racing, I would have lost a lot of time, a lot of money, and time is a lot when you're grinding, because trust me, a lot of grinding is time, because if you have like 2 hours, you want to spend the best amount of time grinding, the best amount of time getting money. So the first tip I could give is definitely do highway grinding route. Not worth it to do races. The second tip I want to give is do not buy limiteds if they're not worth it. Now, there are some limiteds that, yes, I would definitely tell you to get it. The P1 GTR being one of them. If you're like starter and you have 500 Robux laying around, definitely buy the P1 GTR because it has good handling, very forgiving, and good braking. So this is definitely a good starter car. I'll give my opinion later. But don't buy limiteds unless they're not worth it. The Bolide really was one of the most worth it limiteds that you could buy if you're a starter, but do not go for limiteds if they're not worth it. Like the 250 was not worth it. The FXXK was not worth it, really. Same thing as P1 GTR. The Fenner is another worth it one that you could get, and I forgot how much Robux is it because I bought it a while back. But don't buy limiteds, although they are tempting, unless they're worth it. Like super worth it, like a Venom F5 if Foxy adds it, a Cheerin 300 Plus if Foxy adds it, or the Bolide if it returns. Definitely go get those returning limiteds because they are really one of the rare cars. So don't be tempted to get a limited if it's not worth it. Yes, they are rare. If you're a collector, I would give an exception because I am a collector myself. So it's really a bad habit. But if you're not a collector, just don't go for limiteds. Now the next tip I want to give is oh, I lost it. I did take one. It was a lot better. Is car grinding route. There we go. Car grinding route. And yes, car grinding route is a thing. You might be asking yourself what it is. Car grinding route is what cars you get while you're grinding. So you start with the Fiat Multipla. The best thing that I could get, the best tip that I could give you, the first car that you should get, go straight for the Countach, because yes, they're promo codes. I was about to make that into an entry, but I didn't. Definitely go get the Countach with promo codes, because they give a lot of money and it's really good for starters. So first off, you want to get the Countach. After the Countach, you should get the Tesla Roadster, 700k, 200, 8.6 handling. 1 gear car, so it could destroy anything on drag. Most anything, because the Rimac could come out and slap it. And then after a Tesla Roadster, you're going to want to get Jamero. Skip every $1 million car, because a lot of people get tempted for the P1 or the 918. Skip every single $1 million car. Go for the Jamero or the Regera, whichever one is your preference. They're both pretty much the same thing in my eyes. And if you can't resist not buying a car after the SSC, definitely go for the Wyra BC or the Hennessy Venom GT, because those two cars have really good acceleration, not good handling. So if you're a track player, don't get that. Or the Chiron is another good one. But after that, go for the SSC. Then you could get whatever car you want, because you already have the SSC and it's the king of the game. Then you should go for a Rimac. Alright, the final entry that I want to get to is how much money you spend on your dealer, and when do you do your dealer. Because yes, your dealer is a big part of earning money, because every second I get 655. As you can see, my money changes a lot. And you should definitely this is my grinding dealer. As you can see, I have all the best cars I can. But as you can see, these are all the best cars except for this. I could change it real quick. Your dealership is a very important part of grinding, and I'm not saying to build it up like immediately, but definitely go for your dealership while you're grinding. Like once you get the Tesla Roadster, build to the first floor, get all these platforms. Then after the Tesla Roadster, once you get to the SSC, finish up your dealership and then buy the best cars you can, because they're really helpful for grinding and they're really good. And the final tip that I want to give is when to buy every single car in the game, because some people think completing the game is buying every single car, and I do as well. And I pretty much finish the game, but I do this game for content and for new limiteds. So when it comes to buying cars, everybody wants to get all the cars in the game, and I have 130. Not every single car in the game, but you know, every single car there is in the store, every single available car. And the tip that I can give is go for the more expensive cars first. Definitely, if you want to go like really good for grinding, get the Nevera, Devo, get all these top cars first, then grind for the lower cars. Because with the top cars, you could make 600 in your dealer. It gets you a lot of money, and it helps you buy more of those cheaper cars. Because when I was grinding and I got all the top cars, I went for like the Porsche Taycan or the Jaguar Type F, the Acura NSX, all those cars that are really cheap, that are pretty much afterthoughts. Definitely go get them after you get the top cars. So I guess that will be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next time.